1/8 if they're children. In short, most of the time, the female gets half the share of the male counterpart, but not in all cases. For example, for a uterine brother and sister, both get 1/6. If the deceased has got no ascendant or descendant, both get equal share. If the deceased has got no children, both mother and father get equal share of 1/6. And in certain cases, if the person who has died is a lady who has got no children, the husband gets half, the mother gets 1/3, and the father gets 1/6. That means there are cases in which the woman even gets double than that of the male counterpart. That the mother gets double than that of the father. But I agree with you, in most of the cases, the female gets half the share as compared to the man, where it's considered to daughter and a wife. But the answer to this is that since man is held responsible for the financial aspects of the family, and in order not to do injustice to the man, Allah has given a higher share to the man as compared to the woman. Otherwise, we'll have to have a lecture on the rights of men. I'd like to give you an example. Suppose a person dies, and after the property has been distributed, the share of the children remaining is 1.5 lakh. And that person has 2 children, 1 son, 1 daughter. According to the Islamic Sharia, the son gets 1 lakh rupees and the daughter gets 50,000 rupees. But out of the 1 lakh rupees, with the son deceased, he has to spend maybe the majority of it on looking after his family. Maybe 80,000 of 1 lakh he had to spend on looking after the family. But that lady, when she receives 50,000, she does not have to spend a single pie on looking after her family.
The next question we'll ask from the chat. We would request you to put brief questions, and I would request our speaker to give brief answers, because we have only about 25 minutes left for the question answer session. This is from Bijay from IIT Powai, Bombay. He asks, Islam does not allow intermingling of sex in workplace. Is this modernizing or outdated? Please explain. Another connected question is, can a woman work as an air hostess since it is a decent and highly paid job? This is from Sujat.
Regarding the first question, that Islam does not allow intermingling of sexes. Is this modernizing or outdated? If you mean by modernizing that you keep your women for sale, that you can intermingle with them, or you can even take the profession as modeling, then I feel that Islam is outdated. Because women, by the Western media, by the Western culture, they have said that they have given more rights to the women. They are raising the status of women. Actually, they're degrading it. According to statistics, it tells us that 50% of the women in America who go to universities and workplaces are raped. Do you know that? 50%. Why? Because most of the jobs in America involve intermingling of sexes. If you think that a lady should be raped, it's modernizing, then Islam is outdated. If you think not, then Islam is the most modernizing. Regarding the second part of the question, does Islam allow a woman to work as an air hostess since it's a highly paid job and a decent job? I do agree with the first part. I do agree it's very highly paid. But the second part, let's analyze. The air hostesses are normally chosen. Main criteria for selecting air hostess is beauty. You will never find an ugly air hostess. They are selected because they are young. They are selected because they are attractive. They are made to wear clothes which are against the Islamic ethics. They are made to wear cosmetics that attract the customers. They have to tend to certain needs of the passengers, which are mainly men, in which there is close approximately between the man and woman. And many a times, the gents passenger, unnecessarily, they involve in conversation with the air hostess. And even if the air hostess wants to give a fitting reply, she can't, because her job is at stake. Many a times, the passenger may say, "Madam, please tie my seat belt. The air hostess has no option, but she has to tie the seat belt. What's going to happen? There's going to be close proximity between the opposite sex. Many airlines also serve alcohol. Islam prohibits any man or woman to serve alcohol. That's the reason all the air hostesses are women. There are gents pursers, male pursers in the flight, but they rarely attend to the customers. They are in the kitchen. It's the opposite. In the plane, it's the opposite. In the plane, it's the opposite. And believe me, an airline cannot do without employing ladies. Even the Saudi Airlines, supposed to be inverted commas, the most Islamic, supposed to be inverted commas, even they have ladies air hostesses. But since they can't have Saudi girls, it will be difficult, they import the girls, they are foreign air hostesses. Double standards. Double standards. You have no option. The airline is a profession in which you have to have ladies to attract the customers. And you'll be shocked to know that certain rules of the airlines, for example Indian Airlines, as well as Air India, it states that after you are selected, you cannot marry for 4 years. Some airlines tell you that if you get pregnant, your job is terminated. Imagine. Some airlines say that you retire at the age of 35. Why? Because you're no longer attractive. Do you call it a decent job?
The next question, please.
In the name of Allah, most gracious, merciful and bountiful, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Parveen Alavia, a practicing lawyer and a researcher in world religions. My question to you, Dr. Nayak, is, you mentioned the solitary illustration of a woman who told the body that she was forced into a marriage and her marriage was allowed to be invalidated. This incident took place years ago, and on the year, if possible, the body. Quran is the constitution of the rights of women and men. Is there a body? If so, name it, which also enforces the breakage and rights. Thank you.
Sister has asked a very good question. She has asked that about the rights of the woman. It's very well laid down in the Quran and the Hadith. And if a woman is forced into marriage, the marriage can be invalidated. Is there any body today existing which can invalidate such marriages? There are many bodies, example in Iran as well as in Saudi Arabia. Unfortunately, the Indian government doesn't allow the Muslim community to have such courts, though there's a Muslim personal law, but all the rights are not given. If you request the Indian government to allow us to have such boards out here in India, then inshallah even in India we'll have such bodies. They have given only certain rights, not all the rights.
The next question from the chat is co-education allowed in Islam? This is from Rashid Sheikh, he's a student. Is co-education allowed in Islam?
Brother asked the question, is co-education allowed in Islam? Meaning can male and female study in the same school, college or universities? First let's analyze whether male and female can study in the same school. There was a report which came last year in the World This Week, and it gave the survey of the schools, both unisex schools as well as co-ed schools in the UK. And the survey said that the overall result of a unisex schools was much better than a co-ed school. When interviews were taken of the teachers, they said the students in unisex schools concentrated more than the co-ed schools. When interviews of the students were taken, they preferred studying in co-ed schools than unisex schools. And you know the reason very well why. And that survey continued. It said that people in co-ed schools spend more time in becoming popular with the opposite sex. And besides lack of concentration, they gave very smart answer to the teachers. And they spend more time in dating than in gaining education in school. And the last point of that survey was the UK government was thinking of setting up more unisex schools in the country. According to the American report, it said that girls in school spend more time in picking up illicit sex techniques from their classmates than acquiring knowledge from the teachers.